Hi, this is Kendra from Pencil and Pigment, and today is my NoBuy art supply in-depth topic. And I want to talk about two different things because they're both kind of short, so I'm just going to sandwich them into one, and hopefully future Kendra has titled this video correctly. But the first one I want to talk about is observations. Now, in doing this and deciding to make this public, I have made sure that I have tried to be as detailed as possible. And I know for some folks that this is like overkill, and for some folks this is just not enough. But I'm hoping this is sort of a bell curve situation and most of you kind of like get what I am doing here. But the observation, to put into context, is very kind of specific to what I'm doing, but I'm hoping that I can apply this to you as well. So for me, creating art every day is my stress relief. It is how I pamper myself. It is how I unwind. It's how I give back to myself. It's everything kind of all in one. So it's my part of my therapy, my like healing. It's my journey. So I do it every day, and every month I pick a different creator art challenge and do a different challenge every month. And within that I do a different art supply and a different paper and a different medium. Sometimes there's a little overlap, but in general, that's what I do. And I've been doing this for almost a year and a half, every single day, month after month. And in doing this NoBuy, I have 10 months worth of record here, and I noticed something interesting. Now, again, this is kind of specific to me because I do so many drawing challenges, but for those of you creating and doing things with different time spans and starting new projects, this might also be applicable. I noticed, so I drew a line where the first half of the month ended on each of these. Right here, right here, right here. Let's see if you notice. Right here, right here, right here, right here, right here. So the first half of the month is the bulk, save for 1 month, which was March. The first half of the month, when I am starting and getting started, that is where the bulk of my wants and needs are. So it's the first half of the project. It's me sitting down with my art supply and sort of seeing where there might be gaps in what I own, or things that might make creating easier or save me more time, or just things I want to try or level up in with better quality paper or better quality supplies. It's the first half of the month for me. And that makes sense. I'm sitting down with a new art supply and I want more, or I want different, or I want better. So how this might apply to you is if you're working on some projects and art creations, commissions, things for the community, things for yourself. If it is something that takes a span of time, let's say it takes you 2 weeks to work on a project or 1 week to work on the project, if you divide that time in half, the first half is where the bulk of all your wants and needs are going to be. And then the second half is going to be sort of coming to terms with the reality that you can't buy anything. It's sort of the acceptance portion is the second half. Well, I'm just going without it. I'm just going to proceed anyway. And the needs and wants drastically drop off. So if you can get through the first half, the first portion of creating without buying anything, the second half of the duration when creating is going to be much easier. This is the observation I have made because of you guys. You folks have inspired me to make this as detailed as possible. This is infinitely more detailed than I would be for myself, but because I am making this public, because there is viewership and folks are following along on this journey, we are able to calculate and see what days I want, what days I need in this very fine detailed thing. So I want to say thank you. While this is something that seems like common sense, it never would have like hit me like this without seeing dates. And this isn't something I would do for myself. I wouldn't have dated everything I wanted like this. It wouldn't be so detailed. So thank you very, very much. I appreciate you. You helped me come to an observation that was just sitting there waiting for me to notice. And I think that's awesome. So wherever you find this, if you're starting your NoBuy this month, or if your year's in the future, this is, November 2022, and this is a resource that you have found useful to you, and you're starting out and you're having trouble, hang on tight. Have an accountability partner, make lists, write it out in a journal how you are feeling. Never undervalue what a journal can do for you to put all your thoughts and fears and hopes on paper. And if you can get through the first half of the month, the second half is much, much easier. Now, the second thing I wanted to talk about is budget, because I had a lot of trouble coming to budget, and we know how much I spent last year. I believe in previous years it was well over $1,000. I could go back and look and make a video talking about that, but I'm just gonna say it's probably well over $1,000 for previous years too. I've just decided to make it super, super easy and simple and round off and not read too much into it, sort of the under promise, over deliver. So I've decided my budget is $500. That is US dollar. If you are in Canada or Australia, you'll want to do a currency converter to figure out how much that is for you folks. But for me, I just made it 500. Now, I have some long-term goals for 2023 and 2024 of things I want to accomplish for myself. So I know that I'm going to come in under budget, probably a very healthy amount that's going to be exciting and wonderful, because I want to move forward with this NoBuy doing a thoughtful low buy forever. I want to still do videos, like 2 videos a year with the purchases I've made and showing you my budget and still holding myself accountable and still trying to motivate and inspire folks. We're in this together. So I still want to do that with you. And I think once I hit years like 2025 or 2026, I don't really have any plans. And those could be like floating years. This is kind of a floating year where I'm just practicing and trying to become a better artist and illustrator. With floating years, I may come really close to 500, but I still want to be under that, including tax, including shipping, including all the things. So 500 just seems like a nice amount where I can count for a little inflation, a little price increases on different things. And that just seems the easiest way to do that. I know that it also comes from sort of a privilege that I get to do art and have art time carved out, and we have the budget for that. I understand that, and I don't take that lightly, and I don't take that for granted. It's such a subjective, personal amount that depending on where you're at in your life, where you live, with your lifestyle, with everything, that may be a tiny amount and that may be massive. But let's put this into perspective. Last year I spent $2,626.71. So a fifth of that, $500. It's easy, round, and we will all be able to remember that because it's just so simple and clean. So that is my budget moving forward. I'm locking into that. I'm going to over deliver and make sure I always come under that. And, check out the purchases. This unique observation I was able to do because of this insane detailed thing. I just made this very, very detailed as much as possible. And that's what I've seen, which is really, really cool that I can see that. And if you are just now starting out on your NoBuy or you're doing a low buy, keep this in mind, especially if you're doing rotating projects or challenges or things like that. So I hope this helps. I hope you have an absolutely wonderful day, and I will talk to you tomorrow. Bye.